Okay, so here we go, everybody. It is Wednesday night, and it is July the 26th, and we are here to talk about do-it-yourself natural healing. So easy to learn, well, sometimes easy to do. You might run into a few little, what we call healing episodes. We used to call them healing crises. We're not doing that anymore. But anyways, it's real simple what we do. We learn how to alkalize the body, and we learn how to get lymphatic fluids flowing and get those cleaned out by the kidneys. So that's really it. The lymphatic fluids are all over the body. They're three times bigger. This system's three times bigger than the blood system. It surrounds every single cell. You have, some say, 100 trillion cells. So it surrounds them all. This is where the healing needs to really be focused because we're all really just cells and fluids. So that's really the simplicity of it. We learn about kidney filtration, and we're off to the races. And these so-called diseases, I don't really believe in disease. They're all just symptoms of an acidic lymph system seem to disappear. So that's where we're at. I've been teaching this for a while now, and we're actually gaining momentum here. I'm growing. Dr. Morse's thing is growing too. So the word is getting out, and I don't think this would have been possible without the high-speed internet. YouTube has helped us communicate these ideas, which used to seem really, really out there. But yeah, having the high-speed internet and the social media has really helped us get this word out and getting people to just kind of deprogram themselves a little bit and approach these sort of things that used to be on the fringe. I think they're becoming more and more mainstream, thank God. So yeah, technology is really shifting the world in many, many ways. I mean, you look at Amazon.com, it is much bigger than even Walmart now, and that just made it easier for people to to shop and to compare prices, to look at reviews on products, things like that. So I guess this movement is really benefiting from technology, just like Amazon.com was. So anyway, so we're just I'm just happy to be here and help everybody. Hold on, I'm just not seeing a picture up here yet. You guys chime in and see if we have a picture up yet, okay? I may be having some issues here. Technology is advancing, but it's not perfected yet, unfortunately. Let me know if you guys see anything. I'm not seeing anything on the screen myself. Let me know if you guys are seeing anything, please. Oh, here we go. Okay, so good. We're now on. Okay, good. Yeah, I was just having a black screen there for a while. So, anyways, yeah, this is called lymphatic detoxification or regenerative detoxification. When you get the acids out of the body, the cells can heal, and the tissues can heal, the organs, the glands, the bones, the joints, everything can heal. It's amazing what happens when the acids are taken out of the equation, and that the body is, put back in what's called homeostasis, back into the natural state. It's neither too acidic or too alkaline. It's in the right zone. So that's what we do. And the food has such an impact on our health. I can't, I've been doing this so long, I can't believe that people still don't believe there's a correlation between food and your health. And a lot of people feel this way. And unfortunately, a lot of people in the medical community feel this way too. I was watching a show last night called What the Health. I highly recommend this. It's amazing. It shows, it got into a lot of political issues on, some of these foundations, like the Susan Komen breast cancer, the pink ribbon people, the American Diabetes Association, American Heart Association, American Cancer Society. They take money from the food companies, which actually there's evidence to show that their products are causing some of these things. And in What the Health, they cited, in the Susan Komen breast cancer, they cited how dairy was, they showed studies. linking dairy to the cancers, and also animal products, according to this documentary and the research that they presented, highly correlated to diabetes. The animal products, block the cell walls, and slow down the pancreas and all these kinds of things. So it's interesting, that they take money from this. So they were all over that. It's a really interesting documentary. I did read some kind of negative reviews, and the guy that was giving a real bad negative review was a paleo guy, which is understandable. So so it's your health, unfortunately, if you listen to the mainstream, is bought off, in my opinion. So you have to be very careful about that. Take control of your own health. This is the only way you're going to get out of these issues that you're experiencing. Get back to the natural diet you're supposed to put in, and learn about detoxification, and you're going to reverse a lot of these things you think are unreversible. That has certainly been my experience. So what the health? It's the same people that did Cowspiracy, and the exec producer is Joaquin Phoenix, and he's a vegan. And this guy Kip was the guy who was directing, I guess, and starring in it. And he's a very healthy looking non-meat eater too. So, anyways, highly recommended. Lots of good stuff in there, and I'm glad that word is getting out. What's really interesting though, because I had seen it in my Netflix queue, and right at the top, and I was gonna watch it. Kept seeing it turn up in new releases and trending now and all that kind of stuff. And I went to go look for it last night, and it was nowhere to be found. It wasn't in any of my lists like that. So I had to actually go into the search engine and find it. So maybe the powers that be, soon to be powers that were, have put some pressure on Netflix for putting that on, because anything that kind of goes against industry is can be met with some pretty heavy criticism by the people that might have influence over Netflix distribution or something. I don't know how it works, but it's, like I say, it's all very political and very intertwined, and just follow the money. So anyways, we all know this kind of stuff. It's just good to talk about it. But anyways, we're here for lymphatic detoxification, alkalizing the body, getting back to the natural diet, which is fruits and raw veggies predominantly, and learning how to get the kidneys filtering, learn how to clean out the GI tract, and clean up the skin, and open up the areas of elimination so we can get rid of the junk that we put in our bodies not knowing what we're doing. Our ignorance has led us to some bad choices, and we're here to rectify that and turn that around, and to get back on the healing train. So that's really it. Some say it's karma. Karma is cause and effect. We caused it. We can get rid of it. That's the good news. Once you wake up, you can reverse your karma, reverse the stuff that you did, and get the body back to its natural state. And that's all we're doing. We're getting out of the way. We're removing obstructions that we put in, so to return the body to its natural state, which is health, which is vitality, which is joy. Acids in the body, they'll steal calcium from us, which is highly linked. Low calcium levels is highly linked to depression. So that so much mentally, physically, and spiritually happens when you return the body to where it should be, chemically. Okay, so YouTube working good. We got, okay. So let's see who's in the house here. We got Jeannie. Okay, Jeannie's on. Okay, we've got Walid. Welcome, Walid. We've got Corey. YouTube phone app is working just fine. Okay, and Corey is asking, hey Mark, what protocol would you recommend for getting rid of candida? I know I need parasite M or G. What's the difference between them? How does one go about taking the tincture? So there's a bunch of questions here. Let's go ahead and jump into those. So candida, we know, is a fungus, and funguses will find a nice cozy home in a slowed down lymph system. Blood moves through the body real quickly. Okay, blood is easy to clean. It has to remain in a very narrow range, acid alkaline range. So that's not the problem. The problem again is that we've got to go after the lymph system. So funguses, okay, I use this analogy because it's a good one. You're up in the mountains hiking. What are you going to drink from? A free-flowing stream, or are you going to go over to that stagnant pond with all the mosquitoes and all the larvae and all the algae in it? Well, we know the answer. So it's the same thing. You want to get that lymph moving. Stagnation is death, okay? In many, many ways. It's kind of a universal law. So we want to get the lymph moving. And what happens is if you're taking in a predominantly acid-forming diet, which is the standard American diet for the most part, acids will get in that lymph system, and acids actually gum things up. They coagulate things, agglomulate, whatever you want to call it, but they make the lymph sticky. And the lymph can get so sticky that it stops, and it starts drying out, becomes hard, toxic, and the critters just love it. The Candida fungus loves it. The bad bacterias love it. The bad parasites love it, what have you. So we got to get the lymph moving. Okay, so with Candida, some people say, well, you got to take anti-parasite herbs, antifungal herbs. Yes, but the problem is if you have a toxic, stagnant lymph system, those herbs can't get to everywhere, and that stuff just comes right back. So you've got to eradicate the sticky lymph throughout the body. So it's a general detox. Okay, get the kidneys filtering, move the lymph, clean up the GI tract, get the glands back up and working, especially the adrenal glands, because they control the kidneys. Okay, it's a standard thing we preach over and over again. You can't just go after specifically. You got to do the general detox and then use the herbs to kill it. But it's got to be able to get to where it needs to go. Now, the problem with Candida also is it's highly tied to sulfur. Sulfur is a fungal proliferator, and it also slows down the lymph system. So sulfur, the inorganic sulfurs are found in antibiotics. So even antibiotic use from a long time ago can remain in the body, and even antibiotic use from your mother can get in your body and stay there. So you gotta move the sulfur out. And one of the great herbal formulas for that is Dr. Morse's GI Broom. It will get in and dig deep into that GI tract and help you move that sulfur out where it loves to accumulate. Okay, so that's it. So general detox, focus on the GI tract, and take the herbs to kill it. Now the parasite M is for the Candida, the microorganisms. Your small little microscopic guys. Hence M for microscopic. The G is going to be for your larger worms and flukes and things like that. Okay, it's a good idea to do both of those in the beginning. Along with the parasite M, do a bottle or two of the parasite G. Okay, in your first month of detox. Okay, and how does one go about taking the tincture? Well, the tinctures are, it's all done by weight. Your standard dosage is by weight. So just look at the bottle, give you the weights. Okay. I think around 150 pounds is one full dropperful. Now, the thing about a dropperful is a lot of people make this mistake. They go ahead and they squeeze the eyedropper into the tincture bottle, and it comes up and it's only 2/3 full. Well, that's 2/3 of a dose. So you've got to actually get in there and do another third. So you got to kind of use your eyeball and say, okay, one dose at 150 pounds, let's say, is a full dropperful. Okay, just so you know about that. All right, so I hope that answers all your questions, Corey. Thank you for that. We've got Simon back. Hi guys, Mark. I took another leap from 12-hour dry fast into 5 days. Wow. So you went from a 12-hour dry fast to 5 days? Now, a dry fast is where you take in nothing. You have no fluids, no herbs, no food, nothing. You don't even brush your teeth. Don't take showers, nothing. That's a dry fast. So that's a heck of a jump, Simon. I don't recommend that myself. I think it's too much unless you're really experienced. Okay, and under supervision. Dr. Morse doesn't like anything longer than 36 hours. without supervision or experience. So that's a big jump. Almost done with day 3 and feeling as bad as on day 1, so still good. Okay, my filtration is not any better. How beneficial, safe is that? Well, I think going 5 days is not safe myself. Like I say, I like the 24-hour ones, 36 at the max myself. You don't you're maybe trying to get them blasted open on one big jolt. I think the smaller ones they're additive. I do 12 to 14, nightly, and then once a week I try to do a 24. So you know, um, I would work your way up to that. Is all I'm going to say. Okay. You'll get filtration, but you're just trying to really kickstart them. So, yeah, don't be too brave. Okay. Take it easy on yourself. Look, unless we're really, really at death's door, we don't have to make detoxification really hard on ourselves. Okay. It's not going to do you any good because you're going to burn out quickly. It's going to be too much work, too much effort. Detox can be actually pretty pleasant. I used to make the same mistakes in the beginning because I was really eager to do this and to get everything going and all that. But you don't need to really, really be a hero here. Slow and steady completes the race. That's what we're looking for. So we don't want to lose you, in the fact that you burn out and you're like, I'm not doing this again. That's way too much work. And so yeah, I would ease into it. 24s are pretty good. 36s are really good. 36 hours. It's a day and a half without anything. So that would be my recommendation. Then Gino has recommendations at the Master Fast on how to work up. I think he was saying it took, he's recommending almost a year to get up to the 3-day, if I'm not mistaken. So take a look at his recommendations, Simon, and see what he says. Okay. But be safe. Yeah, don't push too hard, you guys. Everybody's a little different. I mean, just switching to a high fruit diet is really, really radical for a lot of people. So, yeah. So be safe, and we want you to be with us, on the regenerative detoxification pathway for a long time. Okay? Jeannie says, yes, you are right, Mark. I missed the topic as I got a phone call. Movie. What the hell? Oh, but Joaquin Phoenix. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know what you're really saying here, but yeah. Um, yeah, it was a good film. I highly recommend it. What the hell? Really good. A lot of these, I don't watch a lot of them because they're all saying the same thing. And they did touch on some things there. They never got into the acid alkaline balance. They never got into kidney filtration. They didn't really get into the lymphatic system, but they did really correlate food with food with health, and they were really coming down hard on the animal products, which they really don't do anybody any good. Milk does not do a body good, despite what they tell us. So that part of it is good. It showed the correlation of how the big businesses, including the pharmaceutical companies and the food companies, influence these supposedly protective organizations. Like even the food pyramid. The FDA. They influence the FDA. So it's really good to see the political underpinnings of this, to know how you're being manipulated. It's all about the money. They actually cornered a guy. I think it was the American Diabetes Association, and the guy got an interview. He actually got in with one of the top guys there, and the minute he started talking about the correlation of food and diabetes, the interview was over. The guy just turned really ice cold on him, and this guy Kip was just sitting there very calmly. He says, "I'm not arguing. I'm just asking a question." He never lost his cool. He remained really, really calm. And the guy just lost it. He knew if he opened his mouth that he might be out of a job, and that he needed to get out of there as soon as possible. Now here's a guy who altruistically is not living by high standards, in my view. He is in it for his ego, for the money, whatever. He really does not care about you, because it was apparent to me reading his body language that he knew there was a correlation. He just didn't want to talk about it because he wanted to keep his fat bank account going, and keep his country club dues going and all that. So you know, I'm not, I'm not condemning the guy. He's a human being, but sometimes we can hopefully step up and do the right thing. Um, you know, I saw I saw an old movie called The Verdict with Paul Newman. It was about a corrupt lawyer who actually did the right thing. It's a really good movie. I mean, Newman just was spot on that. He did the right thing, you know. He saw it. He got the message, that it's not all about the money and the prestige. So hopefully more and more people will wake up to that are heading these companies and come out and whistleblow and for the good of mankind, because it's right in our faces. It's right there, yet it's denied. That's the problem. And we just have to take responsibility. They're not going to be the people that wake you up. Trust me. You're going to be the person that wakes you up. Okay. All right. So, anyways, Wallace says, laughing out loud. Thank you. We got Super Raw Vegan back. Yeah. Do you think the reason we get so much sediment on a dry fast because the bowels are not moving, letting any sediment to be released through the bowels? Yeah, I don't know, but what I do know is that people that had a hard time getting kidney filtration, in other words, seeing sediment in the urine. I mean, people go, they just don't see anything, time after time, nothing. It's all just crystal clear. That's not what we want. Then they go into dry fasting, and they start to see sediment, and even when they stop dry fasting, they still see sediment. So I get the question a lot. It's like, oh God, am I supposed to have a big release of sediment every time I pee? No, it doesn't work like that. But you should see a little something. You should see little speckles. Um, you know. So yeah, all we know is it turns on the kidneys to filter, and it seems to be beneficial. I'm not sure. This kind of thing is all new. Dr. Morse, 47 years doing this, it has just come on the dry fasting bandwagon in the last year. So we don't know a lot about it. We don't get a lot of feedback about it yet. I'm taking as many notes as I can, but I do know that sediment is a sporadic thing. Sometimes we get these big releases. I mean, they're unbelievable. You get this big glob of stuff in the bottom of your urine jar, and it's just truly amazing. And then the next day you've got just little speckles. So it's a bit inconsistent. Sometimes you get it after not eating so well too. You'll get a big dump of sediment, and sometimes you'll be eating perfectly clean and just get little tiny speckles. So, anyways, yeah, don't know. It could be that you are filtering a little bit, but you're pushing so much water through you, taking in so many fluids that it just is flushing, flushing, flushing. Another analogy that I use is how they pump oil. With oil drilling, they have those grasshopper things, right? But those don't go day and night. They'll stop, and then they'll let the seepage come in, okay? And then they'll pump again. You can't just keep pumping. So that might have something to do with it. It might be the seepage, coming out that makes it more visible. But the good news is that people that haven't gotten filtration ever get it, and they keep it going. They have to continue to dry fast somewhat, especially in the beginning as they start to get the kidneys released. But then once, it's like opening a drain. Once you get a little something open, then it starts just, moving and pushing things through. So that's the good news. Kidney filtration, nothing really happens in lymphatic detoxification unless we get kidney filtration. You're really fighting a hard battle because we got to dump those acids out. And Dr. Morse has now said that the bowels are an area of lymphatic waste removal, he believes. Okay. But your health is, your acid alkaline balance in the lymphatic system is highly tied to the kidneys. Okay. So Jeannie, I found What the Health on Netflix. Good, thank you. Okay, good. Yeah, watch that, Jeannie. I think you're gonna like that. It's pretty good. I started to take notes, but I was writing. I mean, so many points were coming across. It was really unbelievable. I was planning on doing a review of the movie, but my review would be pages and pages long. I mean, there was so many great tidbits of information. They really did a lot of good research there. I want to see this National Institute of Health study um, that's done out of the UK. I think that was done on the cancer animal products correlation. We've got Walid. Can anyone be ever too weak to detox? Should they strengthen with glandulars first, or do all herbs detox and some strengthen? Okay, can anyone ever be too weak to detox? That would have to be a really, really weak person, in my view. Um, you know, yeah, I mean, detox is a lifesaver to so many people. So you'd have to be, I guess you'd have to be really close to death. You'd have to be on a ventilator, and you'd have to be, maybe in a coma. I mean, you have to be really super weak to detox. I know I get a lot of people that are thin. There's so many people that are thin out there, and they're afraid to detox because they don't want to lose more weight. But here's the catch 22. The catch 22 is the reason why people are ultra thin. One of the main reasons is they have malabsorption, and malabsorption is from you take in all these proteins and all these acids, and the bowels just get hit hard, and those acids hit those bowel walls, and they just you get lymphatically constipated in the bowel wall, and you don't they just become all locked up, and then you get on top of it mucoid plaque from eating all the processed flours and all that. You get this kind of plaquing on there, and the dairy to some degree too. So you've now got a plaque lining the outside of the wall, and you've got blockage in the bowel wall where you're supposed to get absorption of your nutrition. So you're blocked up. You're taking in all this nutrition, but it's not getting through. So you're not thriving. Your pancreas could be blocked up. It could be all full of gunk and pus and mucus and all just locked up and not producing enough enzymes for digestion. But what is going to solve that problem? The only thing I know of that solves that problem is detoxification. You've got to get in. You got to get on the right diet. You got to get on the herbs. You got to pull on that bowel wall. You got to clean that up. You got to get that lymph moving. You've got to get that mucoid plaque out of there. You got to bring up the digestive enzymes, by getting the pus and mucus out of the glands. You got to bring up the adrenal glands so you don't have as much acids running through the body. So the catch 22 is you need the fruit. You need the herbs, to get in there and clean it up. I guess, you say, well, I'm afraid to do this, so I'm going to keep eating my gigantic pasta meals and, my baked potato with the sour cream and butter with all those calories. I'll lay off the meat, but, you're not going to do much. So that's the catch 22. And you may go down even more before you turn it around. The adrenals may be so weak they're not metabolizing your minerals. They're not metabolizing your sugars. There's all kinds of factors. Got to clean up that liver too. So you need detoxification so you can thrive again. So, anyways, should they strengthen with glandulars first? See, that's a good question. Okay, so in the protocols that I write, okay, when I'm doing someone's, protocols in the first, so in the first month, I'm hitting everybody with the glandular first, okay, and there's a way I do it, and then after a couple of months, about 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks on the glandulars, then we're going to start bringing in the herbs, okay, and get off the glandulars. So I like to shock whatever glands I want to go after with the glandulars first, and then come in with the herbals. Okay, and I was taught this by Dr. Morse. It seems to be what works the best. Okay, do all herbs detox and some strengthen? Well, detox is strength. You know, if we're talking about lymphatic detoxification, that is strength, because the only way to return the gland to its proper function or its inherent strength is to clean out the pus, mucus, acids, pathogens, funguses, all that stuff. You know, if lymph it surrounds all the cells and we're all just cells and organs and glands are just cells, we got to clean up that fluid in between so those cells can function properly. So let's say you have a cell and it's sitting in a bunch of acids, it's sitting in an acidic lymph system. You know, it's burning on that cell. That cell is going to protect itself. It's going to form a amyloid plaque on that cell, which inhibits the cellular function of that cell. So when we start removing all this garbage and all these acids that are causing the body to try and protect itself, we strengthen the body because we strengthen the cells. Okay, so you know, there are some herbs, like, okay, for as far as an example for kidney herbs, there are some herbs that are more diuretic. In other words, they're going to push more fluids through the kidneys to help them clean. And there are herbs that are better for strengthening than that. So in essence, yeah, but you know, it's all strength. If you're cleaning those cells, you're getting the strength back. Okay? So detox is strength. Okay, thanks for that question. That was good. It got me thinking. So that's always good. It's always good to get me thinking. So here we go. Let's see. Where did I jumped ahead? All right. So, some strengthen. Okay. So Wallet has another question. And how important is the mental and spiritual component to healing? Wow, you're hitting some good ones here. Wow. All right, so you know, I in my personal belief, I think it's really important. You know, when you have the mental focus, you know, and let's call it faith, okay, and faith is I could list that as a spiritual component. I hope to you guys, but faith is important because you know you're out there and I'm telling you some things that I believe can help. You have to have faith in what I say, okay? You have to have faith in what Dr. Morse says. You have to have faith in the people on this board, on some of those Facebook groups and all that. It takes a faith because you know you probably spent your lives putting your faith in the system because these guys, you know, the doctors drive the big Rolls Royces, live in the big houses. They've got the, you know, the country clubs and the, you know, they went to Harvard Medical and they've got, you know, they've got it on the surface. They have it all. Okay. They have the big hospitals, the big machines, the big textbooks, the whole thing. They've got it all. Okay. So the spiritual component is to say, wait a minute, you know, that's not working very well. And I can hear truth in what I'm hearing, okay? So that in essence is spiritual because and when you turn yourself, when you reverse yourself and you look back at nature as an intelligent, an ultra intelligent force. Now you're turning to nature and putting your faith in nature instead of in the institutions, okay? That is a very big spiritual move in my view. That's probably one of the biggest moves you'll ever make, okay? Because you're putting your faith. I hate to use the God word, but you're putting your faith back in the natural world, you know. You know, what man creates with his ego is not real in my view. What is created with the higher mind or the overmind is real. So That's why this resonates so much with me. That's why I put my faith into it. Okay. So it's a very, very big mental and spiritual component to make that shift. A lot of people cannot make that shift. They don't know how to make that shift. Okay. The programming is so deep that they can't make that shift. So, at this time. So it's huge. It's huge because if you don't have the faith, you're not going to stay with the program. You just won't. You're just gonna, you're gonna get on a detox and it's not going as quickly as you'd like, or you're gonna come in, you're gonna hit a wall, you're gonna hit a healing episode, you're gonna have a huge headache, your neck's gonna stiffen up, you're gonna start coughing, and you're gonna go, you know what, this is a bunch of crap. I'm going back. I'm going back and get my antibiotics. So yeah, keeping the faith is huge, huge, especially when the going gets rough. And it will go if you're digging deep enough. If you're brave enough to dig deep enough, it's going to get rough. For all of us, unless you're just been eating perfect your whole life, and I don't know anybody who has, unless you grew up in the Tonga Islands and ate fresh fruit all day. So I hope that answers your question. We got cool. Why did I get cuts on my cheeks and tongue when I was detoxing on grapes? Was it because they were seedless? Wow. I don't know how seedless grapes could do that. You got cuts. Wow. I don't know. It could have, you could have had a bunch of latent acids in there. Sometimes when you do the high fruit, you start stirring up things. So the astringency of those grapes could have pulled on your lymphatic system in your mouth and brought acids up, and then they may not have been cuts. They might have been just acid sores is what I'm thinking. But I can't see a correlation between seedless grapes and seeded grapes doing that. That would be my first answer on that. Cool. But thank you. We got Super Raw Vegan. Did you see the video I sent you showing the RO water machines at Walmart are now managed by Glacier? I didn't see that. I don't know where you sent that. Send it over. Send it to mark@markjamesgordon.com. I'd like to see that. Yeah, I mean, I like Glacier. That's what I do for my water. I have those water jugs, and I just go over to the supermarket. They have them in front of those big blue machines. They're probably all over the country. And for 30 cents, I get a gallon of 5 filters. The reverse osmosis, which is great. It's got the ultraviolet lights, charcoal filters. There's 5 filters, so it's pretty good and pretty economical. And you get to lug your own water, which is kind of a neat thing. So I didn't see that, but yeah, send it over. I don't know. Is there a controversy? Let me know. Oh, volume is low on my side. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. Let me see what I can do here. Let's bring that up. Thank you for that tip. I appreciate that. We want the volume high. Let me know if that's better, you guys. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, that looks better. I got good volume over here now. Thank you for letting me know that, though. I appreciate that. Okay, so my 3-month this is Simon. My 3-month experience tells me I could live off juices now. So I thought I'm going to try the dry fast. I researched Master Fast and it was helpful. As usual, thanks for your help. I'm going to grab some water now. Oh, so you're coming off. You're going to come off the fast. Okay, the dry fast. Yeah. Yeah, don't try not to jump into the deep end of the pool first off, Yeah, I just try to measure yourself a bit, but yeah, the juices are very, very nutritious. It's hard to believe, but people have lived off, the 108 day juice fast is kind of a common thing now. I did only 44, and I felt great, and was hardly taking in any juice at the end. I was only drinking less than a quart of juice a day, and still feeling not hungry, feeling energetic, and feeling really good. This is really interesting that we talk about how foods can inflame you. Cause the wrong foods will cause a inflammatory mucus response in the body. what I'm finding out is pretty much all foods will cause that, to some degree. That's why it's another good reason to like limit our feeding windows. You don't want to be like eating from 6 a.m. all the way up to 11 p.m. at night, munching and nibbling and all that kind of stuff, because number one, digestion is a hard thing on the body. It takes a lot of energy. And number two, I guess only the purest foods would have a very limited inflammatory response in the body. So yeah, so good luck breaking that dry fast. We have Amethyst Schmoller. Mark, I'd like to start by saying I love your channel. Thank you very much. First time here. Welcome. Thank you. I have a question about how to stop manifesting your fears into reality, self-fulfilling prophecies especially. Wow, so we're getting spiritual questions here tonight. This is wonderful. This is really beautiful. So, all right. So my view on that is fear. Okay, here's what I believe. That fear ultimately is the opposite of love, and we've heard that cliche many times, but I believe it's true. Okay, so in my belief system, we have an eternal soul, okay, and which is outside of time and outside of space. All right, and that is in a field of pure love. So anything that is not pure love is not real. So fears are a product of the lower mind, which is the ego. Okay, so anything that is not love is not real. And I tell myself this over and over again. All right. So if you understand that fear is just a product of the lower mind, the egoic mind, the mind that lives in time, the unreal mind that needs healing, then fear will not have any kind of, or fearful thoughts they will lessen their ability to scare you or to influence you. They don't really exist, okay? Your lower mind or egoic mind needs healing, all right? And incidentally, I've been trying to formulate this talk for you guys, and okay, so we talk about physical healing here, right? But if you want to go into a spiritual component that I believe, this is only a means to an end. The real healing is the healing of our minds to return us to our higher mind, okay, outside of time. So in essence, diseases don't exist, fear doesn't exist, pain doesn't exist. Anything that is not love is not real. So everything that we're doing here ultimately is here to help us learn our lessons, to heal ourselves, so we don't keep perpetuating, you can call it reincarnation, perpetuating the fear and the disease of the living in this egoic minded world. Okay, so I'll get better about clarifying that message, but that's what ultimate healing really is. When we are ultimately healed, our minds are healed, and we sort of break this illusion, this illusory state, and we move on. Okay, so yeah, so just look at those fears and just laugh if you can, and just say, you have no power over me. You really don't exist because you're not in a field of love. So there you go. We were created by the Creator to be joyful and to live in bliss, is what I believe. And we can return to that, but we have to heal ourselves first. We have to heal our minds. Okay. Man, I hope that made sense. So, thank you. So Amethyst also says, well, first time being present during the live chat, but I've listened to every one of your videos. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Wow, great. Thanks. Glad to have you here live. That was a great question. It got me going. Yeah, I appreciate that. And Super Raw Vegan, what brand of TDS meter do you have or recommend? You know, I just got one off of Amazon. It cost me $16. It was a blue one. It works great. You can test, TDS means total dissolved solids. You can test any fluid. I like to test the water, you know, the water coming out of those RO machines, those glacier machines. You know, I've seen it down as low as like 10 or 15 parts per million. So they do a really good job. I've seen water coming out of my tap here in Ventura at over 500, which is listed as toxic on the meter. So, especially out of the hot water side, 'cause it's got to go through the tank. So that's a good thing. That's a good $15 or $16 investment, you guys. I highly recommend that. Okay. The boss, when someone says true brown eyes, what do they mean? Well, there's only really two colors of eyes, blue or brown. So a lot of people that have brown eyes really have blue eyes. They just don't know it. They are so lymphatically constipated, and now that lymph is turning brown, sometimes even black, which is a chronic condition. It's been there a long time. It's going real sour, real acidic, so not good. So yeah, true brown eyes, you know, should be kind of a light brown. And then yeah, a lot of people, I can see it. I'm learning to see it, you know, in those nerve rings. I have a video on nerve rings. You can look at that. They're kind of circular rings that go around the pupil, actually outside of the pupil towards the edge of the iris. And those, if you look deeply in those, sometimes you can see a little bit of blue. That would tell me that person has blue eyes, but they think they have brown eyes. And Fully Rock Christina, she has a YouTube channel. She has a whole video on how her dark brown eyes turned blue, or turning blue now. And she had chronic bowel problems. I think she was only pooping a couple times a month. So yeah, that's a great video of hers, by the way, if you want to kind of get some more confirmation to get more faith. Okay, Bitsy, come on. Come on, we know you're a good watchdog. Okay, so, and do you believe in true brown eyes? Sure I do. Absolutely. Yeah, there are people with true brown eyes. I think I'm one of them. We've got K card. Should I take fluconazole along with the herbs? I think that's the I believe that's a parasite killer. You know, I'm a natural herb guy, natural foods and all that. I wouldn't myself. You know, these formulas are really strong. They can kill a lot of stuff. I'm not into the chemistries, the isolated chemistries, the fake stuff. You know, the natural world has plenty of stuff for us to help us heal. So we got Seamus McGrath. Hey everyone, I'm on day 55 of my juice fast. Wow, juice my own grapes 95% of the time. Wow, amazing. I stopped taking the pudding. That's the psyllium pudding. It's sort of a mop-up thing for the GI tract. It's got psyllium husk, it's got bentonite clay, and it's got activated charcoal. So you stopped taking about 7 days ago. I missed 2 days of bowel movements and have had them regular since. Okay, good. So I guess what you're saying is when you came off the pudding, your bowels locked up for a couple of days and you got it back. All right. You know, just all that grape juice going through you is really going to keep the bowels moving. You didn't mention that you were on any herbs though. I think the herbs are really essential when you're doing these grape juice fasts, just because they help keep a lot of things moving, especially those lymphatic ones and those kidney ones. Because you're stirring up a lot of toxins, those need to leave the body, and that's why enemas are so good during this, and that's why these you know, the psyllium husk and things like that are good for mopping up those extra acids. All right. Let's see here. I jumped ahead again. Okay. All right. So, oh yeah, for systemic candida, that was that fluconazole or whatever it is. Fluconazole, yeah, for systemic candida. Yeah, I personally wouldn't take it. So many side effects from all this chemistry that they want to give you. So let the herbs do the job. There's plenty of them in those formulas that can really, really kill it. If it can get to it, you got to move the lymph too. That's the big component. All right. Walid, thanks for answering my question, Mark. You're awesome. I ordered a 14-week protocol from Dr. Morse. I'm very thin and muscle atrophy and a lot of gut issues. I'll focus on quality versus quantity. Okay, excellent. Yeah, so thin, we know you're malabsorbed, got probably a weak pancreas, so you're on a 14-week protocol. That's so great because that's gonna have the glandulars and everything in the right balance to get that body turned back on. And yeah, and the gut, yeah. So there's nothing like the stomach and bowel formulas and that GI broom to get in there and clean that up. And and get on the proper diet, and you're on the herbs, and help out by by doing some rebounding, brisk walking, the deep breathing, things like that, hot and cold showers, help the lymphatic system too, with those physical protocols. Okay, and I wish you lots of good healing. Learn about dry fasting, of course, and get the kidney filtration going. Shelby Betancourt, fruit with vegetables. Is that a bad combo? I had mango and apple with salad stuff. Yeah, Dr. Morse doesn't like it because you got the fructose and the glucose. They're two different types of sugars. But I gotta say, and I talk about this. I do fruit juice and smoothies all morning, and then later in the morning, coming into the afternoon, I'll throw a handful of baby power greens from Trader Joe's. It's got the baby spinach, baby chard, and baby kale. And my God, I feel good with that. I really do. I don't notice any digestion issues or anything. I feel really good with that. So probably better to eat them separately, but I'll tell you, it really works good for me in that smoothie. So I know it's a mixed message, but yeah, so keep them separate if you can. Probably better. All right. Systemic candida, please. Well, to get rid of systemic candida, you got to do the full-blown detox, systemic detox. When we got an herbal program on a detox program, we're hitting it all. We're getting it all. So that's why you have to learn lymphatic detoxification. The lymphatic system is all throughout the body. Once it gets moving, once it starts getting released out that kidney door, once you're sweating and it's coming out through the skin, and you got the GI tract cleaned out, it's coming out through there, you're great. You're great. You're moving it out through the doorways out. So yeah, it's all about getting that lymph system moving, so those antifungal herbs, anti-candida herbs can get to where they need to go and clean this up and get that sulfur out of you. Corey, so glandulars before herbs. Could you talk more about glandulars and what they do, how they impact the body? It's kind of like the best analogy I can give you, Corey, is think of a glandular as like, okay, you're in a room, someone cracks a joke, and one guy starts laughing, and then the other people start laughing. It's kind of like, okay, so you got an adrenal glandular. So it's the adrenal gland that's all, they call it desiccated, whatever that means, powdered or whatever. It's just the pure gland, and let's say it's a pig gland or a cow. Just the presence of that adrenal tissue in the body tells that adrenal gland to turn itself on. Don't know how it works, but it works. Okay, so that's it. It's sort of like it's sort of that contagion effect, I guess you'd call it. All right. And they seem to be good at kick-starting glands. You don't want to be on these a long time or the body gets lazy. All right. So yeah. So that's that. And then we want to switch back to the botanicals. All right. And then we've got Seamus. I've had a very bad taste in my mouth for about 2 weeks at about day 30. So the mouth is just a part of the GI tract. That's all it is. Okay. I've had a lot of that means that you have got you're probably moving some garbage out. You might be removing impacted fecal matter, which will also cause malabsorption, by the way. And that can cause your mouth to stink, your breath to stink. Once you start, picture that, you got impacted fecal matter in the bowel pockets, those diverticuli, things like that. And it starts to unleash, your toilet's going to smell terrible, and your mouth could smell really bad in your breath. All right. I have a lot of leg and foot pain because of sciatica and hope this helps. Keep going, everyone. Thank you, Mark Seamus. Yeah, so leg pain and foot pain because of sciatica, you know, look, acids burn everything, including nerve tissues. So we want to alkalize the body. The more alkaline your lymphatic system is, the less pain you have. All right. Acids are painful. They exacerbate pain. All right. It should help. You know, sciatica can be difficult. You know, there could be a physical component. You know, with pinching and things like that. But as you remove inflammation out of the body, the pressure points should come off those nerves. And as you alkalize the body, the acids should neutralize more and stop burning you and burning those nerve tissues. So keep going. It's you know, it's the only real solution besides treatment. You know, topical treatment. You know, which really doesn't get you anywhere. So you can take all the pain relievers you want, but are you addressing the problem? No, you're not. And chances are those pain relievers are going to block up your kidneys and screw up your lymph system even more. So that's the only answer, really. Yeah, blessings to you, Seamus, and let us know how you do. I hope you start to find relief very soon. Maybe go to a chiropractor. You know, or these guys, you know, the acupuncture, things like that, to try and, you know, help it out if it's a physical blockage too. Shelby, systemic candida is difficult, but you can do it still with fruits. High carb, low fat diet. Stay away from foods you are sensitive to. Well, that's good advice. I don't know about, you know, I hear this term, the high carb, low fat diet. I mean, as long as you would consider fruits high carb, and I don't know. I would say high fruit, a high fruit diet. Let's replace high carb with high fruit, okay? Because people, you know, people can take that the wrong way. And they can say, well, high carbs. Well, I got this pasta. It's got plenty of carbs in it, you know. So, yeah, I always get tripped up by that, and you know. With the Dr. McDougall's and things like that, because they do like their you know, their grains, which we know are for the most part acid ash forming to the body, and we're trying to get, you know, we've really got a big acid problem in this world, you know, not an alkaline problem, but an acid problem. So we want to get the alkaline ash foods in the body, okay, not the grains. Just to clarify on that, but yeah, if you were meaning fruits, you're right on. Okay. Shelby, volume is still really low. Are we still really low here? I don't know. Let me check my meter here. I got good. That might be been old. Okay, I think I fixed it. Yeah. Okay, mic's lower than usual. Okay. I sent the water video on Facebook Messenger. Oh, okay. All right. I'll check that out. Thank you. Shelby, so much better. Okay, great, perfect. Oh, we got perfect sound now. Okay, great. We're catching up here. A little reverberation, but hear you much better. Good. Okay. All right. So, Jeannie, thank you for the volume up. Oh, you bet. Okay. So, Super Raw Vegan, do you think Dr. Morse would be more accepting of the Master Fast system if someone sent him some testimonials to read? No, I don't. Dr. Morse doesn't like it. He said it over and over again. It's too. Well, it goes against him in a couple of ways, and it goes against me in a couple of ways. The fact that the juice is cooked, is pasteurized, is concerning, because when you heat things, it flips chemistry. It takes it out of its natural state, how it's supposed to be, and it flips it. Okay, so that's one thing. It goes against kind of like this, you know, this kind of living in the natural world type of thing. I did not find the pasteurized grape juice to be acidic for me. I felt it was really, really alkalizing to me. I thought it was a fantastic solvent. I got mucoid plaque within 8 days on the first go around. I got it within 2 days on the second go around. I didn't have that, but you know, it's just, you know, aligning with the natural world. If I can do the raw grape juice, much better. You know, the pasteurized is very aggressive. Do we all need to be that aggressive? I don't think so. The live living foods are going to have the enzymes in there and all those kinds of a lot of things we don't even know are in there. So I just don't think he's ever going to align with that. I really don't. I think he thinks it's too radical, too harsh, and that I heard him talk about what can happen with us is that we can kind of keep we get very high on when when we're really cleansing the body. And I believe Master Fast is a fantastic cleanser, by the way, a lymphatic cleanser. So when we get really, really high because we're so clear, our nerve cells are turned on. We have just the cellular function is way up, the nerve function, everything. We can kind of go out there. And I think he's kind of just the guy who say, come on, let's go back. Let's come back to the basics here, the natural world. The idea of the plasma field interactions and all these kinds of things, I think is something that Dr. Morse feels is a bit off the off the course of natural healing. So I don't know. It's from my viewpoint, I think it's something that's really good if you're really, really in trouble. But one thing that I'm finding out is, when you watch this What the Health movie too, there were people getting amazing healing within just a week or two. They had a woman there. I think she was on a walker. She was 61 years old, and she was on all these medications. I think she had either fibromyalgia or rheumatoid arthritis and diabetes and things like that. And within 2 weeks of being off of the animal products and the dairy and the meats, okay, they didn't really say much about the grains, but just getting off that stuff there, she was walking beautifully and feeling great. There were 2 examples there, just coming off that. All right, so there's amazing healing that comes in. So you take a Master Fast system where they're getting you on the grape juice and lemon. They're getting you on these amazing herbs that have a ton of nutrition in them. You're getting off all the junk. You're getting off all that processed food. You're getting off all that meat, dairy, and grains, all that stuff that just gunks you up, has a huge inflammatory reaction on the body. You're going to feel great, and things are going to heal, all right? Things heal on the Gerson. Things heal on McDougall's thing with the high grains. There's things you can do to invoke healing. But, what's the best way to do it? What's the most natural way? So that I think is what Dr. Morse is all about. What Dr. Morse does is extremely healing. A lot of people have healed from incredible problems, and I believe it's the highest of the healing. And Master Fast is just sort of a tweak on that. The herbs are pretty similar. The ideas are very similar. Master Fast knows all about the lymphatic system. So it's really about this pasteurized juice thing that really is the thing. And I guess maybe the aggressiveness of the fasting, that Dr. Morse is maybe being more of the middle of the road guy. So you've got Buddha, who is the middle path. He's the Buddha of this, okay? And Gino is pushing the envelope, and Gino's a very smart man and has done a lot. And man, the guy's just been amazing, taught me a lot of stuff. So Gino's pushing it. And so, so maybe the answer is somewhere, somewhere there. But, I got to say that Gino brought the dry fasting to Dr. Morse, maybe through Hildy. But he's the guy that brought it up, and I believe I'd have to talk to Hildy about that. But I think it stemmed from him. So this has been an incredible contribution to healing for the planet, and through our groups that are learning this and teaching this. And I would love for you all to be teachers. And I know a lot of you are. I get all kinds of messages that, oh, I'm spreading the videos. I'm talking to people. I'm hoping they get it. So yeah, so he's been great for pushing the community. But Dr. Morse is a great voice of reason and a great middle path person. Used to be, I guess, he used to be on the fringes. So I don't know. So anyways, so great. So we got Kay. Shelby, should I take a fluconazole prescription too? Shelby, should I take the fluconazole prescription too? Well, that's between you guys. I can never recommend anything like that myself. Shelby says no. Okay. I took that. Okay. So Shelby's saying it didn't even help her. Okay. All right. Yeah, the Candida video, I did a little snippet of Dr. Morse. God, it was a couple years ago now, saying how to kill Candida for good. It's the #1 video on my channel. Beating out everything. There's so many people that can't get out because they got to understand the lymph system. If you don't understand the lymph system, you're not going to get the critters out of the body. And that includes all kinds of bad stuff, the viruses and the bacteria and the parasites. It's just hard to get out if they're trapped or they're hiding in these pockets. This is the key to healing, in my view, and it's all natural. It's so beautiful. It's easy to learn. You don't need to even go to school. You just learn about kidney filtration, the lymph system, and how fruit is so important to us, and the raw veggies, and just how damaging the meat, dairy, and grains are. And yeah, and you can help yourself and help so many people. So Shelby K, I tried so many things while I'm still healing my skin a lot of what is going on. When you have Candida, it's a symptom of a larger issue at hand. Yeah, a stuck lymph system. You should stick with raw fruit and veg and herbs, but good. Okay, my skin is peeling and bleeding. Okay, so you're moving acids. You're acidic. What else could cause the skin to bleed and peel? It's acidosis. Trapped lymph, turning toxic, acidic. We got Shelby K, and then I took some herbs that were antifungal, but also that Fab 4 really started to help me. There you go. Get 2 sets of the Fab 4, that if you can, so you don't have to stop for a period, like eczema. Okay, so she's recommending that would be a month on the Fab 4 kits, which Fab 4 is nothing but kidney herbs, lymph herbs to move lymph, GI tract herbs to clean that up, and some herbs to perk up those glands, especially the adrenals. And I would add in, of course, the anti-parasite, M and G, and I would even throw in a liver gallbladder to get things really going here. All right. Simon, what's your view on grapes? Love them. My plan for the current fast is 60 days, and in that 30 days, grapes, lemons. Dr. Morse says organic only, expensive. Gino from Masterfast says it doesn't matter, even pasteurized will do. Yeah, so Gino is working in a plasmatic field. Don't really understand it, but organics don't matter in that. The matter state doesn't matter. I think that's one of his lines. Matter state does not really matter. But I like the look, if you can get organic seeded grapes grown locally, highest of the high, darker the better. But do the best you can. Dr. Morse says he has had high healing with Walmart grapes. Okay. My plan for the current fast is 60 days, and in that 30 days, grapes and lemons. Okay. Dr. Morse says organic only. Yeah, okay. All right, so good. So do the best you can. With the pasteurized, I would do the fresh if you can. Okay, but finances come into play, availability comes into play, time comes into play. Do you have the time to squeeze those and clean up everything? Who knows? Do the best you can. Okay. I've taken 3 kits. Yes. Keep getting told it's eczema. So eczema is you got the skin as the 3rd kidney. You've got all these acids trying to be pushed out through the kidney door. kidneys aren't keeping up, it sends it out to the skin. If I had eczema, I'd really, really detox, get those kidneys filtering. I would get sweating too. I would dry skin brush. I'd take some skin herbs. I'd take some liver gallbladder herbs. I would really, really get this cleaned up. Get that skin cleaned up so it doesn't hold acids. It doesn't trap acids in that lymphatic system in a stagnant way and burn you. So I get that moving. Okay. It's been about 7 years. Yeah, it can hang out there the rest of your life and just keep burning and chewing on you. It's horrible. So Shelby's skin issues makes it really hard. For inspiration, I watch this guy Rob Stewart on YouTube a lot. I still get flare-ups because I'm still healing. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, just work on, if you're working on the kidneys, you're working on the skin. If you're working on the GI tract, you're working on the skin. If you're working on the liver, you're working on the skin. Okay? If you're working on the adrenals, you're working on the skin because you're getting more adrenals. See, the adrenals make steroids that are antacid steroids that help. So yeah, you got to work on those too. So learn about detox. It's a group of things you work on it all at once, and then you focus in on specific areas. All right. So tired of living this way. Thank you. Yeah, keep digging. Just keep digging. Get the filtration, keep moving lymph, okay? All right. Okay. I got to catch up to you guys here. Let's see. Oh, boy. Okay. All right. Tired of living this way. Okay. So Sandy, we appreciate you delving into the spiritual. It's time. Thank you for all that you do. Thanks, Sandy. Yeah, I'll try to do a little more of that. You guys ask me questions. That will get me going, okay? Yeah, I love to talk about it. But we got so many people with physical problems still that are keeping them locked in the body. That's what it's an oxymoron. We want to get out of the body. We want to heal the mind so we don't have to keep incarnating back into these bodies, which are just wrought with problems, and the ego's attached to it too. So, but you can notice the corporations try to keep us locked in the body. They push beauty, they push cosmetics, they push comfort, they push, the exercise machines and all this stuff to keep us locked in the body and in the material world, because that's where they make money. They don't make money on the spiritual world. Well, the big churches do, of course, but anyway, so yeah, okay, so Shelby says, so hey Kay, have you checked your urine? So we'll wait for Kay's answer. Okay, so she said Dr. Morse kid. I lost track on that. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, they've got to get this scrolling thing down a little better here. Okay, so Shelby says fluconazole is a prescription antifungal, and Shelby says also fluconazole NK. Which kits are you taking? Because I had to limit the dose on one because I'm very sensitive to some plants. I was allergic to goldenrod and couch grass. Okay, yeah, if you're sensitive to that, yeah, look at some of the other. They sound like these are kidney herbs. So look at some of the other kidney formulas and see if they don't have those in there. Dr. Morse has, I think, 5 kidney formulas. So just look around and see if those particular ones aren't in that, okay? So Amethyst, thanks a ton for answering my question, Mark. Made it perfect sense. Thank you so much. You bet, Amethyst. Shelby, I think you're referring to the fear question, yeah. Shelby, Kim, skin is the 3rd kidney. Absolutely. So just think of it that way. What are you eating? That's so important. We're finding out, right? What you eat is really important because of the acid-alkaline balance. Raw Steel is here. All right. Hello. Blood pressure in normal range today. Thank you for sharing that. I used kidney tea and a 13-hour dry fast. And you got the blood pressure in the normal range just on that. Fantastic. Congratulations. So Kay is only eating blueberries that are organic. Wonderful. Shelby says, that sounds excellent. Okay, hey, thanks for answering my question. So Kay says, do we stay on herbs forever? Absolutely not. Do your healing and get out. I'm a big fan of herbs. There are certain herbs you can't take all the time. Those lymphatic herbs are really powerful. You don't want to take those all the time. But yeah, some, there's many herbs out there that you're eating. You don't, like parsley in your dips or whatever. Those are herbs. A lot of things are herbs in the salad kingdom. So that's kind of a question. Some you can't take all the time. Some are more banal, and you can have a lot of. But it's good to do them in rounds. It's good to do your herbs while you're detoxing, while you're juice fasting, things like that. You're going to get more bang for your buck when you're doing that. I would say, yeah, limit your herbs to when you're detoxing. Okay, Shelby K. Well, blueberries are good. You may need something that has more water. I mean, are you juicing them? What about grapefruit? How long have you been eating just blueberries? And Kay says 3 months because she is allergic to citrus. Okay, so grapes are berries too, you guys. And those are very watery. All right, so think about that. Shelby, damn. Well, I would check out Rob Stewart. I've never heard of Rob Stewart. He has healed a ton of people with eczema and psoriasis. You may have a sensitivity to citrus. I highly doubt you're in fact allergic. Exactly, I don't believe I'm allergic. Well, citrus is a very powerful astringent, and you could have it could move a lot of acids and toxins and give you some skin issues to make you think that you're allergic to it. Just saying, okay? Shelby K, are you taking any probiotics? If you don't have a loose colon, i.e. hemorrhoids, you should try probiotics, not refrigerated vegan. I'm not a fan of probiotics myself. I don't want to mess with my gut flora. My gut flora is going to be restored properly by eating the proper foods and cleaning the GI tract. So I don't really use those myself. Kay, sent to an allergist and dermatologist. She was sent to an allergist and dermatologist for years. Never got any relief because they're going to treat topically. They don't really understand the lymphatic system and how to clean it. So you guys know so much, about that. Next time you go, maybe educate them a little bit. Shelby, ugh, allergists are so annoying. Waste of money. Every time you go, you'll probably get a different result depending on geographical location, toxic load in the body, etc. Yeah. Got to understand the lymph system. They really don't teach it in medical school other than they don't teach it as a solution to the problems. Not good for business. Not good for the pharmaceutical industry. Not good for the food industry. Not good for most of the industries. That's why we're suppressed. That's why it's at the back of the stack on Netflix, I believe. And that's why when you Google search it, your first reviews on What the Health are going to be all negative. Because Google messes with those algorithms that support corporations. It's, I don't know. Some say it's just business, all right? But your business is to protect yourself and to do the best you can on living a beautiful life while you're here and transcending the body and the ego and the pain, which will naturally fall off if you transcend those. So, okay, so not low volume. Okay, good. Volume has been fixed. All right, so Robin Asher, Mark, can you make a tea just from the 4 boosts I just got? Of course. Yeah, with the Javana boost, you can just make a tea out of it. The normal starter, average thing would be 1 level tablespoon of herbs per cup of tea. You could start out slower if you think you're gonna, have a overreaction or move up. But maybe start with a half a tablespoon level and then see if that works and move up. But yeah, kind of an average cup of tea has 1 level tablespoon of herbs. No matter if it's the Javana Detox All Tea or one of the boosts. Okay, sure, you can do that. Shelby, and of course allergists and dermatologists won't listen. They never listened to me either. They even denied that I had a skin condition. It's totally messed up. I don't recommend them. They want you to be sick. I don't know about that. I don't think there's that many, outrightly sinister people. There are some real misguided egos out there. Not souls, because a soul could never be misguided. But there are some misguided egos out there, and that want to. The ego has this really bad belief that it can If it shares its suffering, it will lessen its own suffering. So it inflicts suffering on others. That's a very, very bad trait of the ego. That's why we want to get rid of it as much as we can. But I don't think there's too many people that are really that sick. But they're out there, so be careful. Shelby, I need a bowel formula and not sure which one to take if I chose one. I was just getting success with bowel number 2, then ran out. So suggestions, the shipping is kind of steep for me. Well, I love Dr. Morse's formulas. You know, the number 2 is if you're getting at least 1 bowel movement a day, and you've got to go up in strength. It's all guidelines up on his site. Go up in strength if you need more stimulation. He puts more Cascara Sagrada in there to help you get more movement. So if the 2s were working, I'd get more 2s. And yeah, I think they have a $12 minimum shipping on that. And they don't sell them locally. So, but Dr. Schultz's formulas, he's got the bowel formulas too, which I think you can get those locally, and they're pretty cheap. But I love Dr. Morse's formulas because he understands that you not only have to move solid matter out, you've got to have the astringents to pull crap out of that bowel wall and move that lymph in the bowel wall, or else that bowel wall gets stagnant and it gets toxic and acidic and starts chewing on itself, and that is what they're calling, you know, irritable bowels and all that stuff. All right, so that's why I love his formulas and the GI Baroom especially. Okay, Candida is so aggressive. Do we have to take herbs against that forever? No. Once you clean that lymph system and kill the funguses, you know, you're done. Just I would stay away from the sulfurs though and those antibiotics. You know, we got Rome Alone, Master Fast. Is that the Master Cleanse? No, Master Cleanse is that lemon juice and you know, the maple syrup concoction with the cayenne, I believe. Master Fast is totally different than that. It's really about using the grape lemon juice combination with some herbs, some dry fasting, and some things to mop up enemas and the psyllium broom to mop up things. Look into it, masterfastsystem.com. Really, really good stuff. Interesting, but very powerful. Shelby, no, I quit doing all herbs. Prescriptions will make you worse. They gave me fluconazole, prednisone, and like allergy meds. Nothing works, so I took something like SF722 or something like that. Wow. So you went deep with those prescriptions. Wow. What about fresh juiced beets? Asked Doris Rotten. Fresh juiced beets are very powerful. Very powerful kidney cleansers. I would go easy on those. I would cut those with something, you know. I wouldn't drink that straight, and I wouldn't do it for very long. Very, very powerful, the fresh beets. But they can really, really clean out kidneys. But be careful, okay? Okay, so Shelby, but those are just, well, not what you need. While Candida is aggressive, you have to eat, move, and cleanse. I also took probiotics, started making my own, but your histamine levels are going to be out of whack too. Okay. We've got Lynn Stonehawker. Welcome back, Lynn. Hi, Mark. How did you get to this lifestyle? I would love to know how you found Dr. Morse and how you started this journey. Thank you. Well, okay, I tell the story over and over again. I don't mind telling it again. I had fibromyalgia, which is nothing but systemic acidosis all through the body. I could have been labeled with rheumatoid arthritis or lupus, things like that. Systemic acidosis. I had a blood panel done. They took blood from me, and just to see, I found a doctor that was pretty tuned in, looking at food allergies. So looking at you know, the inflammatory response of foods. And she was suggesting it was a gluten from the wheat and a casein from the milk thing, which turned out to be true. And it got me off dairy and it got me off wheat. So that was huge for me. I mean, gigantic. Because I was a paleo, not a paleo, but Atkins guy. That's what caused it. All that protein coming in blocked up my kidneys, and I filled up with acids, and I started to burn and chew. And I'm athletic, and I wanted to get my athleticism back. I didn't want to be having to take 4 ibuprofen and being a stiff surfer or whatever. So I did it. I listened to her, and then I just kept going. I just kept moving up the ladder, trying things, falling back, trying things more. And when I heard Dr. Morse talk about the fruits and the natural diet for man and how we're primate and we're a tropical species, it just clicked like I had found like veritas, which means ultimate truth. It just resonated as truth to me, and that brought me up to an even higher level. So that's sort of the short one there, but that's basically it. But thanks for asking. We got K, not check urine for pH levels. Not check urine for pH levels, do you mean? Okay, so checking urine for pH levels. What you want to do to know that you're filtering lymph acids out of the body. We like to see, of course, the sediment in the urine, but we also like to see a slightly acidic urine, because that shows you're moving acids out. If you've got urine coming out too alkaline, it means you're not moving it. So we like it in the 6s. If you're peeing in the 7s, you're not moving enough acids out of the body. Okay. All right. If not forever, how long? So I think that refers to how long do you take herbs? Well, like I say, do it when you're detoxing. I'm a proponent of to always be detoxing. Always be detoxing. You want to do some work every year. You want to keep this going, because toxins can build up, pollutants can build up, heavy metals can build up. We don't all eat perfectly. I don't know anybody who eats absolutely perfectly, so we're going to take in some garbage here and there, and we're going to be in a restaurant and get stuck, and there's a million things going to happen. So always detox. Do a couple of detoxes. So a couple rounds of herbs a year could be a good thing. All right. Shelby, K-Card, if you want to check me out on Facebook, Shelby Smith on Facebook. All right, Shelby Smith on Facebook. Good. All right, so let's see. K, checking for sediment in your urine in a mason jar or larger clear glass jar. Yeah, mason jars are great for checking for urine for sure. I am Joshua. Hear me raw. All right, welcome. I've been mostly raw for about 8 months, and I don't eat as much as other raw vegans eat. I'd love to let my body rest. How will I know if I am under eating? Boy, well, I would probably say if you're not maintaining energy, if you're not maintaining, your muscle mass, if you're just not maintaining a weight, things like that, that could definitely be a sign that you're under eating. Just the normal things you would think of, I would imagine. Yeah, it's just keep an eye on that kind of stuff. Sometimes when you go on raw and things like that, you will drop a lot of weight. So it's all about calories. There's plenty of ways to get calories on raw, so you don't have to drop more than you want to drop. And being on the raw is going to help you remove the mucoid plaque and get everything functioning better, so you get better digestion. Hence more absorption, hence more nutrition coming in the body. Shelby, Schultz is only like 6 days or something. Yeah, go to Dr. Morse's herbs for sure. Simon, I don't have too many bowel movements on this fast, but maybe I'm just on, maybe it's just on watermelon. Should I change my bowel formula accordingly? You could. I would also incorporate the enemas too. That'll get the bowels moving and make sure you're moving acids and toxins out of the body. When you're doing these high-level detoxes, you gotta move this stuff out. That's why the enemas are so good. And getting, if you're getting 2-3 bowel movements a day, fantastic. We got Robin Asher. After raw fruits for 4 days, can I add in a small amount of raw sprouted organic walnuts or pine nuts? Raw foods for 4 days, can I add in a small? Yeah, small amounts, fine. The nuts and seeds are a lot of protein, so use them real sparingly. I want to stay raw for good, but I'm very thin and hungry a lot. Yeah, those can help you. The avocados can help you. The dates and bananas can help you feel full and to get the calories. And I would use those nuts sparingly. Definitely soak and sprout them. Yeah, absolutely. Get rid of some of that phytic acid. Turn on the enzymes. Turn on the growth factors of that. But yeah, keep it down. But calories. Always. Smoothies can give you a lot of calories. Have them always standing by and handy, and just have them within arm's reach, and you can get a lot of calories in the body with smoothies. They're so easy to make, these NutriBullets. It's just you just put it on there and you spin it, and 5 seconds later you've got your drink. You unscrew the cap, you use the same cup, you rinse it in 5 seconds. Amazing. Okay, so I hope that helps you. So Robin said 40 days. That is after raw fruits for 40 days. Okay, sure, yeah. Add in a little bit of nuts and seeds and do those other things, and I think you're going to get a lot of calories. But keep going on that GI tract. Get that functioning better, so it absorbs more. Get those glands up, especially the pancreas and the adrenals, so you get more absorption, utilization, and just the functions of the glands are so important for the whole body's metabolism, including the digestion and being able to utilize that nutrition. We got Alex Walper. Hi, Mark. How many glandulars do you think one can be on at one time? One or two is when I look at the protocols, it's never more than two. In the beginning, like I say, I'm always going after those adrenals first off. That's the first one I go after, and then start going after the other ones. Also, I'm really clogged up in the head. Just did 4 ear candles in each ear with no sign of the wax buildup slowing down. Do you think there are any negatives to doing more candling so soon? I've never heard that there is myself. But for moving lymph in the head, you're clogged in the head. That's obviously lymphatic. Probably some cholesterol plaque. You have to see your eyes. But, you're going to want to clean the GI tract, because the head doesn't drain unless that is cleaning, and so it can drain. You also want to do some upper circulation herbs. You want to help it. Just general detox. You get the adrenals up. You get more antacid steroids, so you don't keep building up that plaque in the head. You want to if you think your neck's out of alignment, a good chiropractor can align you so you can get more flow, which will help that drain. Neurolymphatic massage points. I have videos on my website. The hot and cold showers on the head, the ear candling, inversions. That can help too. So there's things you can do physically along with your overall detoxification to help you. But I've never heard a limit on ear candles myself. Maybe do a Google search and see what you can dig up on that. But good luck to you on that. So Alex, thank you for all your support and inspiration. Absolutely, Alex. Yeah, thanks for being here and sharing what you're going through. We got Captain Pearson. Hey, Mark, what was your mental and emotional detox like? Negativity, darkness, and sadness. Yeah, one of the side effects of the detox is you will emotionally detox, because they say that the cells hold on to onto things. So it's all part of that. It's the only way out is through. So yeah, I've had some of that. That's why a spiritual spending time meditating, spending time in the presence of really good books, spiritual books, staying in a high thoughts can really help you. If you're watching the 11 o'clock news before you go to bed, and I call it the body count. If you're listening to just this incredible division going on in the country now. The powers that be are losing their power because the masses are waking up. So they're trying to really divide this country. And I've never seen such a division between the left and the right, let's call it. Both controlled by the same people. So, but there's this outside force that's now come in, the awakened people, and they could be from the right and the left, and now they're putting pressure. So they want this extreme division in order to polarize everything. So if they control both sides, they control both poles. They just don't like the people that haven't really been sucked into either side fully. So so they're pounding this negativity on us. They've got all kinds of things hitting us hard right now. So the stock market is going to collapse. Social Security is going to blow up. The banks are getting ready to fail. We're going to go blow up North Korea. North Korea is going to blow up us. I mean, it's just Russians are going to nuke us. I mean, it's incredible what's happening. So don't tune into it. I mean, don't lose your awareness. Try to understand the game being played, but yeah, don't get sucked into that polarity and that negativity. That can happen as you detox. Stay with the higher thought as much as you can. Listen to really good people. When I first got on my spiritual path, I called it spiritual light, and I was listening to people like Deepak Chopra. I was listening to Wayne Dyer, God rest his soul. Listening to just some of this guy Eckhart Tolle was wonderful. These guys will keep you in a higher state of mind. They'll keep you in more out of your egoic mind. Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, is really an amazing book for transcending your ego, and he did it in an amazing way. So there's things you can do to, this stuff is not real, like I said. But it's you're trying to hold on to things and so I think once we're detoxing the negativity out of us too. We don't want to put it back in. It's like eating bad food. It's like detoxing for 60 days on a grape fast and then going to McDonald's for the week. It doesn't make any sense. Or returning to a sad diet. You don't want to return to a sad diet, and you don't want to return to a standard American mind either. A controlled mind that's controlled by the illusion of a civilization that's controlled by the people with all the money, which are the corporations. So don't fall into that trap. So detox the mind too, so the higher mind has more influence on you than the lower mind, the egoic mind. The soul is running the ship now instead of the ego. This is the battle. This is light and dark. These are the two forces that are at war. It is a war. Okay, so that would be my recommendation. Okay, yeah. Try to laugh at some of this negativity and darkness. I know it's hard, but it doesn't exist. It's all a fallacy. Just look at it and laugh and say you have no power. You just have no power. You're not. It's not love, it's not real. So yeah, try to get through it, but the only way out is through. So Doris Rodden, sometimes do 1/2 fresh grape juice and 1/2 pasteurized. If I don't have enough fresh, should I mix? I would. We're all trying to do the best we can. Yeah, mix. I would do the fresh grape juice by itself. Wait an hour and then do the pasteurized. So at least you're getting all that wonderful fresh stuff in there. And then do when you run out of the fresh, then go to the pasteurized. That's all you can do. That's what I would do. Okay. We got Simon. I want to ask you about dry fast breaking. I drank 1 liter of water in the past hour. Can I move now to coconut water? I've got 11 prepared just for the purpose. I'm going to refer you to Master Fast, because Gino is expert in fasting and how to break those fasts, and he has some guidelines up there, Simon. So I'm going to refer you over to masterfastsystem.com. And if you have questions on that fasting type stuff, the Facebook group is amazing over there with lots of support. So that's what I would do, Simon, okay? Yeah, breaking a fast is really super, super important and vital, okay, to learn about. Okay, so if you guys have any last questions, we're at about 1 hour and 40 here, and really great group tonight. We got off on some really interesting topics and some spiritual things and all that, and I'm just so happy to answer, as truthfully as I can and as clearly as I can to help you guys, and to support you guys and to give you inspiration, all that, and to have a group that we can come to once a week and really talk things out. On Gino's site, it says coconut water is good for that, but I wanted to ask you too. Yeah, coconut water, in my view, is really good for breaking that. Yeah, but he has a concoction. It's called a champagne with I think some apple cider vinegar and some baking soda and things like that to help you break those dry fasts. So one last little tidbit on coconut water. I heard that in World War II in the Pacific Island Wars that when they ran out of blood, they would actually give injections of coconut water to people that had lost blood because it has the same pH, and that the body took it. So there you go. I have to verify that though, but it sounded interesting. I've heard that a couple times. So anyways, so thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for participating. And good luck on all your healing, in any form that you're working on. And we'll see you here next week, and have your questions ready, and spread the word, and help help teach your brothers and sisters this. It's incredible. And yeah, if you guys watch What the Health, let me know next week your comments and views on that. So good night, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.